400 years before the Common Era, rainfall is measured in India. A rain gauge is an instrument used by meteorologists and hydrologists to gather and measure the amount of liquid precipitation over an area in a predefined period of time. The evolution of meteorology is inextricably linked to the advances in science, math, and technology. Around 340 before the Common Era, the Greek philosopher Aristotle published the first major study of the atmosphere. Before the 1600s, predictions were based on recurring patterns. There was no understanding of why these recipes work and why they did not. During the 1600s, measurements of surface quantities began. Isaac Newton develops his three laws of motion, the beginnings for a mathematical description of meteorology. The study of meteorology in the 17th and 18th century was fundamentally altered by rising convection in the scientific method. Changes in air pressure were linked to changes in weather, according to the Italian physicist Evangelista Torricelli. Torricelli invented the barometer in 1643 to precisely measure air pressure. The barometer remains an important tool for analyzing and forecasting weather systems. The mercury thermometer was invented by Daniel Fahrenheit, a German physicist, in year 1714. These sensors allowed for the precise measurement of two essential atmospheric variables. During the year of 1800s is the beginning of determinations of the forces which act to change the weather. Some simple theories and classifications are developed. Until American inventor Samuel Morse invented the telegraph in the mid-1800s, there was no method to quickly convey weather data. Meteorological agencies were able to communicate information and create the first contemporary weather maps using this new technology. In 1900s, they realized the importance of the vertical structure of the atmosphere that must be studied and must be measured. The concepts of air masses and fronts, which are the foundations of contemporary weather forecasting, were established by a group of Norwegian meteorologists in 1920s. The military operations in World Wars I and II resulted in significant improvements in meteorology that increased their understanding of weather. The military invested substantially in training, research, and new technologies. Radar, which was created to detect the existence, direction, and speed of aircraft and ships. Hundreds of data points were run through complex equations by computers in the 1950s to construct the first models of atmospheric conditions. Large-scale weather, such as the succession of high and low-pressure systems that circle our globe, might be projected using these models. In 1962, the first television infrared observation satellite, or the TERRS-1, the world's first meteorological satellite, delivered the first accurate weather forecast from space. In 1974, the first geostationary operational environmental satellite was launched. In early 1990s, the first next-generation radar was implemented at the NWS Weather Forecast Office. In this decade, the dual Doppler radars and the next-generation geostationary operational environmental satellites was being used operationally. And so, meteorologists used a number of technologies to study, characterize, model, and predict weather systems today. These technologies are being used to improve forecast accuracy and efficiency at various meteorological scales.